Indonesia is drawing up plans to allow foreign tourists back into Bali, including Australians, if they've been vaccinated. The government in Jakarta is debating how to establish a COVID-free corridor with key countries or cities where tourists could visit select areas in Bali. The proposal comes amid worsening signs of the devastating impact the pandemic has had on Bali's economy. Indonesia correspondent Anne Barker reports.
The waters in Bali's north are a popular dive site for European tourists, but a year after tourism was banned, the beaches are almost deserted. Hotels and restaurants are struggling to stay afloat. Agung Kurtiasa has made the reluctant decision to sell his Amerta villas.
It would be the worst case scenario as we have limited resources in terms of our financial capability to provide for our employees.
Across Bali, countless hotels and villas are for sale, many because the pandemic has decimated their businesses. Canadian Paul Lube had to shut his luxury villas near Ubud in April and lay off 31 staff.
It was probably the toughest decision that I've ever made in my business. It was really based on the fact that there was no demand and no tourists.
Indonesia is now looking at ways to allow foreign tourists back to Bali if they've been vaccinated or test negative on arrival. The plan is for a COVID-free corridor with individual cities, ideally some of them in Australia.
Either Melbourne or Perth. Based on big data, it should be Perth, because Perth is the ones with the most incoming tourists.
Tourists could only visit designated areas such as Nusa Dua in Bali's south, where the local population would be vaccinated in advance. The country's tourism minister has discussed the idea with Australia's ambassador, although not yet with the government in Canberra. But he's hopeful a COVID-free bubble could revive Bali's devastated economy.
I've heard requests of opening up this corridor by end of March or early April. Let's see. I don't want to give any false hope.
The plan would also include funds for small infrastructure projects in almost 200 villages to boost employment, keeping people in work until tourists finally return. Anne Barker, ABC News.